Hello everybody, how are you all doing? Welcome back to Man City Unplugged, your very own Man City fan channel. Raheem Sterling is gonna give us a guard of honor today. How can things turn around in a year, right? Last year he was lifting the Premier League trophy with us, but what a wonderful day it is gonna be. Finally, after 2-3 months, months of intense pressure, football. Finally, it's unbelievable that you're coming to a match day without any pressure. Just from the start, you know that it will be an enjoyable day. It will be a day where we are gonna have a party mood right from the off. So what a wonderful day to be a City fan. That's what I would say. Honestly, I thought probably we could even go to the last day like we did the last time. I thought we'll win the title. I was confident in the team, but I always thought we would go to the last day and probably Brentford away, tricky fixture and stuff. But it just came to an anti-climax, and Nottingham Forest just beat Arsenal, and they handed the title to us without even kicking a ball. And that's almost reminiscent of how a team can how we have made teams surrender to us, and the climax in fact represents a part where Arsenal have surrendered to us. That's what I would say at the end. Arsenal just could not cope with our pressure, with our relentlessness, all of those things, and have just surrendered to us. It's a bit interesting today that Kyle Walker is playing in the right back position. Uh, Enrico Lewis is playing in the left back position. I mean, probably I think you could. I don't know what lineup will line up with at the back of the defense, because potentially Akanji could shift to the left, Walker at right centre back, and Rico Lewis could play on the right hand side coming into the midfield. Because Rico Lewis at left is really going to be interesting. Again, will Foden play on the wing? Will Foden play on the center of the park? He's preferred Sergio Gomez over there in the middle. What does Pep see in Sergio Gomez? Is Pep looking at Sergio Gomez as someone who could potentially take over from Gundogan, for example, in the long term? Erling Haaland on the bench. Just looking forward to the guard of honor here, the guard of honor that we are gonna get. Ederson's on the bench today. JSK might be very happy, I guess. Just like I said, the last home game, and what a dream it is to win the title in front of your home fans every season, to lift the Premier League title in front of your home fans. That's just amazing. And what a dominance this has been from City. Man, if you read some of the articles from the English press, like what they're writing uh, in the Independent, for example, what they're writing in the Guardian, for example, and all of that, can you actually can understand how much bitter the English press are towards us. Kepa is walking out, the entire Chelsea team is walking out. Raheem Sterling is walking out in places where he's very familiar with. It's just that he's standing by an unfamiliar team, that's all. I would actually even have loved Joao Cancelo to be lined up beside Raheem Sterling and to get a guard of honor from both of them actually. City are walking out here. Calvin Phillips is walking out there. What a lucky boy Calvin Phillips is, right? He has done shit all in the season and is getting a guard of honor there. Has done nothing and is getting a guard of honor for it. Wow. Must be very lucky to be Calvin Phillips. I'll be very interested to see what effect he has on this game. I think the next three games, Pep is gonna play Calvin Phillips each time and every time. So that will be very interesting how Calvin Phillips performs. Pep Guardiola is working out there. They're showing the points table, obviously, which is stating that we are champions. How good has been Rodolfo Borrell, the assistant coach of City? I think he's the best we have had since. I know that there was Arteta as well, but I always rank Juan Malilo ahead of everyone in terms of Pep's assistant coaches at City. And then I always rated Arteta, and he's of course done a good job at Arsenal. But I think Rodolfo Borrell actually is a bit above Arteta in terms of the best assistant managers Pep has had. I would even almost bring Rodolfo Borrell to the level of Juan Malilo in terms of the because with Mikel Arteta, for example, there was a good influence of our attacking shape and structure. For example, Mikel Arteta was influential in developing Raheem Sterling's attacking play, Gabriel Jesus' attacking play, their movements a bit. Arteta has been very influential in shaping that. But with Juan Malilo and the city mascot and the entire team are getting picked. That is just beautiful. Erling Haaland is looking there and is thinking, why am I not playing Gafford? Yeah, but with Juan Malilo and Rodolfo Borrell, the thing is, I've seen an impact on City's defensive structure. The way their inputs have shaped Pep's defensive side of thinking of the game. So that is a crucial point which will not be mentioned in the press anywhere, which will not be mentioned even a wee bit. Everything will be Pep genius and all, and that is true. But these, especially Rodolfo Borrell, I think he deserves a mention for the way in which I'm sure that playing four centre backs in the back, that idea, there must have been some influence of Rodolfo Borrell on that. I'm a bit sad today that Maxima Parone is not on the bench actually. I actually wanted Maxima Parena to start, but I don't know if there's any injury or something because it's a no-brainer that you start Maxima Parone over Sergio Gomez. They call him the next Frankie de Jong, Maxima Parone. So you have to start him. If you're Pep Guardiola, you have to start him. But a very changed lineup if you see. I think except Akanji and Walker, there's no one here who's played in that Madrid game, and changes were, of course, expected. I also expected Kyle Walker to sit this out. Manuel Akanji is an interesting thing for me. Pep is literally playing him in every game, every game. I don't know when Pep will give him rest. Rico Lewis is almost about to kick the ball off. Interesting. Why is Rico Lewis kicking the ball off? Stefan Ortega has been wonderful in the FA Cup. He's been our keeper in the FA Cup and zero goals conceded in the FA Cup till now. They say it's a record in the history of the FA Cup or something. So many heroes that have driven City's trophy charge, I would say. Heroes who will definitely not get the headlines, but heroes whom we as fans should appreciate. Rico Lewis, for example. That's a wonderful touch. Julian Alvarez. Rico Lewis, for example, if you guys remember during the tough period when Cancelo was gone, Walker was not performing well, Ake was out injured. It almost seemed like it was just a matter of time before City's season fizzled out. That's offside. Kai Havertz is offside like he always is. He hasn't picked up any good habits, but he's picked up this habit of being offside always from Timo Werner. So Rico Lewis for me was a pivotal element in sort of that February, for example, sort of that mid-January to even February. After the World Cup for 2 months, he was just pivotal. Without Rico Lewis, I don't think we see this title. In the same way, without the versatility of Akanji, I don't think we see this title. So a lot of underappreciated players are there. Can't single them out because they were part of a team. That's what I would say. They've not been brilliant individually. Like for example, a Lionel Messi would carry a team, for example. But without them, again, it was difficult. That's a chance. That's a chance. Penalty. No, I think he got the ball. That's not a penalty. He got the ball. Good challenge by Fofana. Cole Palmer is playing on the left wing. So Phil Foden might be at the center. A lot of City fans are actually Mahrez just lost the ball when he was skipping inside. And that's the interesting thing about Riyad Mahrez actually. Bernardo Silva also mentioned it once that Riyad Mahrez, when taking the first touch itself, he comes inside. Two movements in one, which makes it really hard. Calvin Phillips. Ah, Sergio Gomez actually, for a moment, I thought it went in. So Cole Palmer on the left wing. I know a lot of City fans want to see Foden centrally. Many people believe Foden could be the long-term successor of a Kevin De Bruyne, for example, or even an Ilkay Gundogan and all. But I see Cole Palmer more of a Pep Guardiola central player than Phil Foden because Foden does not have that pausa. Foden does not have, when Kevin De Bruyne, when Pep shouted on Kevin De Bruyne against Real Madrid, why did he shout? De Bruyne was not slowing the play down. He was not controlling the tempo. That's what Foden is. So I don't think Foden is still ready to play in that central role for us. Good build up there by Chelsea. So how these squad shapes up, especially through this summer transfer window into next season, will be very interesting. By the way, this is a good news for us, for all the City fans. It's a Chelsea attack, and that's excellent defending there. Wonderful defending there from Aymeric Laporte, and another great block from Aymeric Laporte. Rico Lewis comes in. Wonderful play there from Julian Alvarez coming back and doing the dirty work, and Riyad Mahrez is off. That's, this 3 4 passes in a nutshell tells you why City won the title. Excellent defending, everyone working hard, and we come out with the ball. Cole Palmer, wonderful skill there by Cole Palmer. Ah, Cole Palmer's had a great start to the game. Cole Palmer's had a wonderful start to this game. Calvin Phillips, guys, just keep your eyes on Calvin Phillips and what he will do. Kyle Walker. I actually think Kyle Walker is playing in a back two. Actually, here we have got the formation all wrong. Kyle Walker is playing in a back two. Rico Lewis, right back, and Akanji left back. Interesting. I think that's interesting because you might ask, why would you want to give Kyle Walker that centre back position? You could have played a youngster or something like that. But I actually think Pep is preparing Kyle Walker for the future years in his career. In his later years, I think Pep sees Kyle Walker. Maybe after 2 years, I think Pep sees Kyle Walker playing in the centre back role because you can never have those legs, right? The same pace. The pace will wane. You will get more hamstrings as your age goes on and as your career goes by, especially when you get into the mid 30s and stuff. So that's a wonderful ball over the top. Is Julian Alvarez is in? Ah, it's offside. Anyway, it's offside. It's Riyad Mahrez, I think, who tried to break through the offside trap. So I think Pep wants to give Kyle Walker that awareness of playing in that centre back position. Wonderful play there. Sergio Gomez, excellent triangle. Sergio Gomez to Cole Palmer. Look at that, Cole Palmer. He has that pausa there. Look at that. Not slowing the play down unnecessarily. You almost get a feeling of seeing Jack Grealish play in terms of controlling the tempo of the game. When you see Cole Palmer there, he's just conducting the orchestra like he has been a permanent fixture in that left back, that left wing position. Cole Palmer, Manuel Akanji, weak touch back Akanji, but Laporte gets back. What a pass from Aymeric Laporte. Sergio Gomez, great ball by Sergio Gomez. Riyad Mahrez, Riyad. Ah, that's a corner, I think. That's a corner, but great play there by Sergio Gomez. Wonderful play to find Riyad Mahrez. Cole, the left hand side has just been wonderful in these first 7 minutes, I would say. Very bright start. Excellent start. Riyad Mahrez with the corner. Ah, good shot, but it's just wide. It was from Phil Foden. Chelsea coming out with the ball. Where are you, Calvin Phillips? I think Pep has a big decision to make in the summer. Does he keep Calvin Phillips or does he sell him? I know with what has happened with the Grealish situation, for example, recently that Grealish has taken 1.5 years almost to settle in, and now see he's almost one of the world's best left-hand-sided players in terms of control, in terms of change of pace, in terms of dribbling, everything. Jack Grealish is right up there. So I mean, the case was a bit different with Jack Grealish that Pep has time, because with Calvin Phillips, I don't think Pep has time by his side, because you cannot expect Rodri to play another season of 50, 60 matches, right? That's just impossible. So Pep must be absolutely sure that Calvin Phillips will. This is a Chelsea player down. I think it's another injury. So Pep must be absolutely sure about Calvin Phillips, whether he'll come into the team next season and he'll play, or he's just not good enough. He'll take more time because Rodri's workload must be managed. Rodri's workload must be absolutely managed, I would say. Enzo Fernandez there. A lot of people, thinking that we could have had Enzo Fernandez instead of Calvin Phillips. In fact, we were offered Enzo Fernandez for what? Around 15-20 million, right? So Cole Palmer there, Cole Palmer. He's just been superb today, Cole Palmer. The courage with which Cole Palmer runs with the ball, it has been absent this season, but it looks like he's found the mojo back this now in this match. Because at the preseason, you sort of expected that Cole Palmer would be the next breakthrough player for City after Phil Foden. He was just so good in the academy. He was so good last season as well, right? In the FA Cup against Swindon Town, I think he just curled a ball and Palmer was excellent. But this season, I don't know why. He just dropped off a few injuries and stuff. Pep rates Cole Palmer very highly. The reason being he has the pausa with him. He has the control of the tempo with him. Great interception there by Callan Phillips. Julian Alvarez. What a goal by Julian Alvarez. What a goal. What a finish. Julian Alvarez. Wow. What an interception by Callan Phillips. What a pass by Phil Foden. What a goal by Julian Alvarez. That was just one touch football at its absolute best over there. And just look at the finish of Julian Alvarez there. No goalkeeper in the world, not even Courtois is saving that. Wonderful goal that is. Trying to play through the line. Calvin Phillips intercepts it. Lovely ball by Phil Foden there. And lovely finish by Julian Alvarez. In fact, it was by Cole Palmer. I think the assist is by Cole Palmer. The assist is by Cole Palmer actually. My bad. The assist is by Cole Palmer. What an assist that is. Wonderful assist. And just like that, City have gone 1-0 up. It looks as if we are going to just celebrate this title in style. Phil Foden. It's a back three. Composing of Walker, Laporte and Akanji. Wonderful skill there by Sergio Gomez. Wonderful protection of the ball by Cole Palmer. Sergio Gomez there retrieves the ball. Gomez, Palmer, excellent. We have been excellent on that left flank. Gomez and Palmer have just been absolutely wonderful. What a day Cole Palmer is having. Already having one assist. Edison. I'm sorry, not Edison. Ortega. Manuel Akanji. Wonderful skill by Cole Palmer. Just look at that. What a skill by Cole Palmer. Rico Lewis. Wonderful pass by Rico Lewis. Wonderful return by Sergio Gomez. And Cole Palmer is through. Ah, what a passage of play. That was breathtaking football. This is football at its absolute best. Rico Lewis, Cole Palmer, Sergio Gomez, Rico Lewis, back to Cole Palmer. The, you should just see that wing play. That wing play from Cole Palmer is absolutely wonderful. This guy might just have a higher ceiling than Jack Grealish. You don't know Cole Palmer. That skill to just get past the winger. Wonderful thing by Cole Palmer. Disappointing ball, but the left hand side has just destroyed Chelsea there. Our left hand side. That little knock on from Cole Palmer was just, it was the moment of the day till now, I would say, that wonderful knock on. And Rico Lewis just, that's one touch football at its absolute peak. You cannot get one touch football better than that. Look at Pep Guardiola there. He's pumped up. We fans are pumped up. You can't watch better one touch football than that. Vinicius B team playing so well. That footwork from Cole Palmer, Vinay was just out of this world, right? Just a few moments ago, who was that left back of Chelsea? I don't know, but he was absolutely destroyed. Who was the right back of Chelsea? Was absolutely destroyed. Cole Palmer is just on another level today. That assist was good. The way he's keeping the ball down there when he enters the box from the left hand side. The tempo is there. Wonderful from Cole Palmer. Sergio Gomez has also looked wonderful today, right? The way Sergio Gomez has played through the midfield. Just looking at Sergio Gomez play, just a question for all of you. Do we need to go for a midfielder? Do we need to go for a Kovacic or another midfielder like we are being linked to whoever it is, keeping in mind that we have Sergio Gomez? That's a question. Because whenever Pep has used Sergio Gomez this season, he's used him in that midfield position. Sometimes 80th minute when we were ahead in games, getting Gundo off. And every time Pep has put Sergio Gomez in that midfield position, he just looked superb. He's controlled the tempo, he's played the passes through, he's played one touch passing, he's kept the ball when he had to keep to. It just seems like Sergio Gomez understands the ebb and flow of how Pep wants to play the game. So, and honestly speaking, if you ask me, I do not want us to dip into the transfer window this time. Maybe a left back, and that's all. Left back and a centre back, I think that's all. Even for a centre back, I actually want Callum Doyle. Guys know Callum Doyle is from our youth academy. He's excellent leadership material and all of those things. Left footed centre back, he's strong in the air. His passing ability is very good. So Rico Lewis. What position is Rico Lewis playing? It's a bit confusing for me. What position is Rico Lewis playing? Vinicius is very surprised with lineup 9 changes. I just think Vinay that Pep did not want to risk fatigue injuries and stuff. Like for example, you might get a hamstring, for example, after such a strenuous match against Real Madrid and all. So I think Pep just did not want to risk that, and that's why he's made these 9 changes. And also, I think in a way, these players, it would be harsh on these players, right? It would be harsh on your Cole Palmers, it would be harsh on your Rico Lewis, even Aymeric Laporte to an extent, harsh on Julian Alvarez. Oh, Julian Alvarez is down, catching his knee. I hope it's not a bad injury, but I think it would have been harsh on a couple of players that they've if Pep would not have made these many changes. And also, I think that Real Madrid match, not just physically, emotionally as well, it would be so draining. Not just within the match, but then even after the match as well. Like, you have lost to the same rival in a devastating fashion last time, and this time you have overcome it. So, how much of, I would not say toll, but how much of a relief and how much of a drain it would have been mentally, right? Being relieved of that, and how much of an effort it would have taken to just remember all of those memories in the past of Real Madrid doing it to us and get out of that, celebrate on a high. It just takes mentally also that game would have taken a lot out of all the players. So that's why I think Pep has made so many changes. Utkar says, "Do you think we are in dire need of pacey wingers?" Not now, Utkars, not now. Not now, I think, especially looking at where the system is going, assuming that this again. I'll go back to that Newcastle match where it was 3-3 Newcastle away, and in I think in October or something like that, 3-3, and we conceded goals on the counter. And Pep said something interesting after the match. He said that we need to control the tempo of the game. We need to have wingers who have that pausa. Otherwise, they'll just be turnovers, especially playing with Erling Haaland. So when you link those comments to the system that Pep has found, three centre backs with John Stones coming into the midfield and something like that, I actually think Pep believes in this system. Pep believes the wingers are there to control the tempo of the game, because earlier on your Gabriel Jesus and your false nines would control the tempo of the game. So with Erling Haaland, Pep believes the wingers control the tempo of the game. He wants De Bruyne and Gundogan to play high, and they are the ones along with Haaland who give you impetus, who give you the who inject the pace in the game. So I don't think we need pacey wingers, because again I think to answer that question you need to look where is Pep looking to inject the game in the system, and the answer obviously is driving those two number 10s high. with De Bruyne, Gundogan, or whoever plays there. So I think Cole Palmer is an excellent option. Jack Grealish, Cole Palmer, Phil Foden is kind of learning how to control the tempo. That's why he's on the bench. That's why he's on the bench all these games. So I think if we go for that kind of a winger who can control the tempo on the wings and not a pacey winger. Vinay says pacey winger with control. That is difficult, Vinay. That is difficult. Probably you're looking at a Leroy Sané. Utkarsh says then if Gundo and Bernardo both stay for long term, then we don't really need a midfielder. We don't, Utkarsh. And there's some good news on that. Multiple outlets today are reporting that, I think it's Athletic actually who's reporting that Gundogan and the club Gundogan has a 3-year deal from Barca. City want to offer him a 1-year deal. Now the latest talk today morning is that City have offered Gundogan a 1-year deal with the option of extension for one more year. So essentially it's a 2-year deal, and it is that Gundogan wants to stay now. Gundogan wants to stay at the club. So that's good news for us. And good news is not just Gundogan staying, but these 2 years which Gundogan will stay, it will give a chance for your James McAtees, for your Tommy Doyles, and for your Oscar Bobs coming from the academy. For your, I think Shaw is there. There's someone who's coming from the academy. I mean, all those players, your Oscar Bobs and everyone, it will give them chance to settle down, just like Ford and settle down under the guidance of David Silva. That is what the transition has to be. That is what we need to actually plan for. But when I again coming back to your point, pacey winger with control is again difficult. I think I think Jack people underestimate Jack Grealish in that. I don't think you need to have raw pace. I mean, Gary Neville said this thing very interestingly. He actually said that that's a great ball in between the lines. Rico Lewis is almost through. That's a great thing. And I think Cole Palmer has to score. Cole Palmer has to score. Weak shot from Cole Palmer. The guy deserves a goal today. Cole Palmer deserves a goal today. What beautiful one-touch football over there. Great one-touch football over there from City. Just look at this phase of play. Rico Lewis at the heart of it. Rico Lewis, Phil Ford, and Cole Palmer. Just a good. I think it was a good challenge from the Chelsea player Palmer. That was 2-0 if that challenge didn't come from the Chelsea player. So I think Gary Neville actually said this a few months ago that he was not afraid a winger who had extreme pace because if you're a fullback, for example, if you're facing a winger who has extreme pace, you know that he has extreme pace. He said that he's afraid of someone who has that quick turn of pace, slow, 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 fast, slow, 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 fast. And that is where I think people underestimate Jack Grealish a lot. Jack Grealish might not have raw pace, but Jack Grealish has excellent turn of pace. Do you ever see Jack Grealish being caught on the ball? Very rare. If he's caught, he's fouled. Otherwise, Jack Grealish just slips away from you like a Slytherin. He just slips away from you. Never you can catch Jack Grealish. The turn of pace, that is a typical quality in a winger, I think, which Pep is looking for. Maybe Karao Mitoma. Mitoma is a very good option if you think of someone who has that pace, a great turn of pace, but excellent control as well. Mitoma of Brighton is very, very good. That will be a very interesting option. Though I think Brighton will ask upwards of 70, 80 million for Mitoma because they're going to get a lot of cash for McAllister, Casido, this season, possibly even Ferguson this season. So they're not really in a need to sell. But Mitoma would be perfect for the system which Pep is playing. Utkarsh is, but still on the right. I think we need that pace when Grealish is on the left, as Mahrez with Grealish doesn't work. And with Erling, we can go on counter. I actually think Utkarsh, Cole Palmer is a right-sided winger. Actually, I know he's playing on the left because Pep had to play Riyad Mahrez today. Mahrez plays on the right, but Cole Palmer has always been seen as a successor to Riyad Mahrez. That's what it has been built up right from last season to even the academy coaches. If you read between the lines, what they're saying, they see the attributes of a few attributes of Riyad Mahrez in Cole Palmer in terms of his ball control and all of those things, dribbling ability a bit, not the style, but the the way in which they dribble the ball without losing it and stuff. So I think Cole Palmer is there, and I think if we need a pacey winger, I think Carlos Borges is there. Carlos Borges is there from the academy who has extreme pace. So I think we need to exercise that option. Because for how long will you just be buying players from the transfer window? That is not what what the academy is set up for, right? So I think this is the right moment. We are doing well. 5 titles in 6 seasons, 3 titles in a row. Great teams when they're doing well, they they take bold decisions. And one of the bold decisions which City can take this season is to tell that we are not going to buy many players from outside. We're going to trust our academy even more. Because it's difficult to do when you're going through a weak moment, right? Trust your academy more. So that's why I'm fascinated about the transfer window next season. Vinay says, Poznan, that's just epic, Vinay. That's just epic. It's just an epic celebration. The Poznan at Madrid was epic. The Poznan at Emirates was epic. The Poznan against Arsenal at the Etihad was epic. The ultimate disrespect to an opposition team. Riyad Mahrez one on one. You know, there was an interesting link actually with Joshua Kimmich today. It's been out in multiple outlets that Pep Guardiola wants to try a swap deal between Joshua Kimmich and Joao Cancelo. So that would be interesting. So if Joshua Kimmich comes in, wow, he could play in the midfield, he could play in the fullback role, he could play in the centre back role. Wow, guys, just imagine it. Joshua Kimmich could be a wonderful replacement for Aymeric Laporte. The only thing I'm not sure is which foot is Joshua Kimmich. Is he left-footed? I don't know. But just imagine if Laporte goes and we get Joshua Kimmich almost in a free swap deal with Joao Cancelo. That would just imagine the salt from all the rivals then. What a ball that is! What a ball that is! Ah, what a ball that is! Wonderful ball. Wonderful ball over the top. And who played that ball? Vinay says Kimmich in Stones role. Exactly, Vinay Kimmich is cover for Stones role. But did you see the ball which I think was it Calvin Phillips who played that ball out to Phil Foden? Was it Calvin Phillips? But what a ball it was, right? From Calvin Phillips to Phil Foden. Utkarsh says Kimmich would be more of John Stones' replacement in midfield. He has similar role to Stones. I think he could do both the things. He could be that replacement to Stones, and I also think he could play anywhere across the back line, just like Akanji did. I mean, no one quite saw that in Akanji at Dortmund, but I think with the versatility and with Kimmich, I mean, we have to understand Kimmich has been developed into that role under Pep. So I actually think that Kimmich is we can't pin Kimmich to a certain role. Yes, his role would be that John Stones, like you guys are saying, but I think Kimmich is just a wonderful footballer who could play anywhere across the back five, back six roles. I think Kimmich could play the Rodri role as well. I think just holding that pivot on his own. So Kimmich will be a very interesting signing, and I think it could help out Rodri as well in a way. Because if I'm not wrong, for Bayern Munich, when Bayern played us, I think Goretzka and Kimmich played in a double pivot, if I'm not wrong. So Kimmich can do that role as well. He could be a cover for Rodri, he could be a cover for Gundogan, he could be a cover for John Stones. Wonderful defending there, great defending there. Great defending from Manuel Akanji. Vinay says one call from Pep is enough. That is true. That is true. One call from Pep is enough. But that pass from Calvin Phillips, I'm still raving about it. One that pass from Calvin Phillips to Phil Foden. What a pass that was, right? What a pass that was. That's why he's called the Yorkshire Pearl. I want to see more of that passes coming through. Just imagine Erling Haaland playing and Calvin Phillips puts those passes in. Vinay says, don't forget Kimmich defense, vision, and creativity, full package. He's a great football player, Vinay. That's it. Is not a centre back or left back or right back. I think he is just a football player. That's it. I mean, in a way, that's the reason why the City team for me is the best City team of all Pep Guardiola's iterations. I know we have had the Centurions, we have had the 18-19 team and all, but with this City team, and there are memories associated with each of those teams with us, right? Sane, Sterling, Aguero, falls 9 in the 18-19 season and stuff. But yeah, but I actually think coming back to this City team, I think the City team doesn't have, maybe apart from Erling Haaland, the City team doesn't have a player in a fixed position, right? Everyone are just great footballers. John Stones playing, drifting into the midfield, almost going into attacking spaces, those zones, the half spaces which attacking midfielders go. Akanji literally showing he can play everywhere. Bernardo Silva playing at left back, 1 or 2 games in the season, him showing that he can play everywhere. So literally, it's a group of floaters and Erling Haaland. That's all. I think this iteration of City is the most dangerous one that Pep Guardiola has ever done. I would actually say this iteration of City is a bit more dangerous than that great Barcelona team of 08-09. I mean, now you would say Lionel Messi is there and all of those are there. He's through, he's through, he's through. What a stop from Stefan Ortega there. What a stop from Stefan Ortega. Wonderful, wonderful. Raheem Sterling. Just look at the finish of Raheem Sterling over there. I think when Raheem Sterling got the ball, no, everyone stopped running because they were so confident that only Akanji ran because he's new, but all the other players were so confident he would finish that they just stopped over there without doing anything. Again, Chelsea get the ball away. Pep won't be happy with this. The way we are giving the ball away in the midfield. So this iteration of City is just a group of great footballers who can just play everywhere. It's the most fluid you can ever see a team play. So I think the challenge will be to get players who can continue this system. So I think that's one of the reasons why we'll find it hard to get a fast pacey winger because Rafael Leao can play in just one position. Look at what Bernardo Silva did against Real Madrid. Played on the right, drifted into midfield. Sometimes, for the goal, he almost drifted into the striker position, made those false 9 runs. With the Rafael Leao, you almost have that Vinicius Junior kind of a role, right? He will just do that one thing. I think so. So that's one of the reasons I see that Pep Guardiola might not look at those kind of players. There might be some stunning decisions in this transfer window that Pep Guardiola will be looking at, and I think we must be ready to get surprised because Pep. But one thing is for sure, I think Pep Guardiola will be looking at a fluid player. That's what I can say. Now, who is that fluid player? I do not know. That's why I think Embuda is another name which I'm very interested in. Embuda is, he again has that pace and he has that pausa, that control of the tempo and all. I mean, wonderful players coming through the academy, guys. Kovacic, what a ball, what a save from Ortega. I don't know if Ortega had any clue about it, but do not concede, guys. Do not concede. Do not concede. Whoever is playing in that defense, we are just putting bodies on the line. Doesn't matter, it's Real Madrid or it's Everton or it's Chelsea. We are just bloody putting bodies on the line. Wonderful defending. You know, there's a phase, I think 78th minute against Real Madrid when Madrid had the chance to score a goal. They were in a box. And the way City were defending there, everyone was putting on the line in that body on the line in that moment. And it just seemed that City players thought you can take our lives, but you cannot let the ball go in. That's what we are here for. You previously, I think you've seen this kind of defensive steel in Jose Mourinho's teams. What makes the City team so dangerous is now you're seeing the defensive steel of Jose Mourinho teams and the attacking creativity of Pep Guardiola team in a single iteration. This is what makes the City team so dominant. This is what makes this City team so special. Because if you look at the physicality and everything at the back, you would think Jose Mourinho is a manager. So much height in the team. And if you look at the front players, the way they move fluidly, you would think Pep Guardiola is the manager. And who links everything? Rodri. This, that's why this iteration is so scary. This iteration is so scary that there was an article in the Independent which stated today that it is almost unfair that City are allowed to win the league in this manner, and this just removes on the enjoyment for from sports. It seems. Where were this Independent article, guys? When Manchester United was winning title after title in the 90s and 2000s. It's only when City are doing that it's unfair to football, right? I'm it's so appalling to see even the media outlets just going on this anti-City run now. Now they have sensed that Pep might have a chance at the Champions League. They are like going into this this thing run and all. What a ball again! Wonderful ball. Their wonderful ball. Julian Alvarez. Ah, it has gone out. Calvin Phillips just spraying those balls like there was no tomorrow. It's just excellent. Stefan Ortega honestly didn't know anything about it, but it was just a wonderful ball. That's what I would say. Good header, but Stefan Ortega deserves his luck. What a poor ball out from Kepa. Press, Julian, press Kepa. Sergio Gomez, Cole Palmer. That's a foul on Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer has not once given the ball away today. He's either dribble past them, control the ball and pass it back, or he's got the foul. I mean, you can see how Cole Palmer is learning from Jack Grealish. You can and Riyad Mahrez. You can actually see that effect on him. I would say this is what makes City special, Academy players come through and they learn from these best. Foden, David Silva, Palmer, Jack Grealish. Foden with the free kick. I hope he puts a very good ball in. Shed ball and fell. Shed ball. But one thing I would say we need to buy is a left back. Do you guys have any options for or anyone in mind for the left back position? Because news is that Pep does not want Joao Cancelo to come back. So I do not know that we have any left back options now. Maybe Akanji can play there, but you'd want a proper left back, right? We have not been linked to anyone as well. I think we have been linked to Federico Di Marco of Inter, but that's all. Apart from that, there's nothing. Is there any left back you guys would want in the team? I know a few guys on our channel, they want Theo Hernandez. Theo Hernandez is an interesting one. His 1v1 defending, I don't know how his 1v1 defending is very good in 1v. Is he very good in 1v1s? That is something you need to check. Because the criteria for what we are looking in a fullback has changed from the start of the season to now. So, especially with this new system, I think with this new system, the defenders are left in 1v1 situations more often than not. That's a long ball and the ball's gone out and Riyad Mahrez couldn't reach it. I would like to have a second goal, but we're controlling the tempo of the game exceptionally well. What a challenge from Rico Lewis. Sergio Gomez. Cole Palmer with the ball. Cole Palmer gets the ball back. Excellent work rate, buddy. Calvin Phillips has the ball now. Some of one or two passes which Calvin Phillips gave were excellent today. They just over the top. Haaland would have been licking his lips for crosses like that. I hope Pep plays Calvin Phillips against Brighton next match, and Calvin Phillips is given the chance to start in the midfield in order to play those passes. That would be a perfect game for Calvin Phillips because Brighton want you to press because Brighton press you high and there'll be a lot of space behind the back line and stuff. Rico Lewis, Calvin Phillips, Calvin Phillips back to Sergio Gomez, to Aymeric Laporte actually. Laporte to Cole Palmer. Ah, good old Aspilicueta against Cole Palmer. Palmer's done very well in this half. Wonderful play from Cole Palmer. Is he offside? Is Julian Alvarez offside? No, he's not. He's timed his run extremely well. Cole Palmer. Ah, Callan, Callan Phillips. For a moment, I thought that might just have crept in. Callan Phillips has a wonderful shot from out wide. It wasn't far, it might look far in the replay, but it just curled away at the last moment. That was the only thing. Good shot to take from Callan Phillips. Wonderful interception. Rico Lewis. Calvin Phillips. He is definitely playing well in this match. Calvin Phillips is making those forward runs. Is I think with Calvin Phillips, one of the things you get is one-touch football. I know you get it with Rodri, but with Calvin Phillips, the speed of the one-touch football is even greater because it's played in that Marcelo Bielsa system. Almost a great cross. Because when you almost look at the first goal as well, which Alvarez scored, it was almost Phillips intercepted one touch pass, and it is just sequence of one touch pass and three passes, and we were through. So Calvin Phillips, he has more to offer us than just the CDM. So I just think we must give him the benefit of the doubt because whenever you open City transfer news right now, you're like always seeing Calvin Phillips set to leave City and all of those things. That's a free kick to Chelsea. He's having a good game, Calvin Phillips. Chelsea have had one chance, I think two chances with the header and the Sterling chance, but I don't think they've actually troubled our defense enough. And it's not even our main team defense, it's a B team defense. Defend, guys, defend. I don't want you to lose the clean sheet. It's a free kick to end the half. I think that will be the last kick of the free kick thing. See, Aymeric Laporte went for that challenge and nothing to go on Aymeric Laporte, but that is one of the weaknesses of Aymeric Laporte. If you say 1v1 defending when someone is running at him, I don't think he offers you that level of comfort which in John Stones offers, Ruben Diaz offers, Ake offers. So That's why Pep is having to move out Aymeric Laporte. He's excellent on the ball, but right now with this system, you leave your centre backs 3v3. You leave your defense 3v3, I would say, with the opposition attackers. So I think Enzo Fernandez is on the free kick. Wasn't it offside? How did Raheem Sterling get there? But again, wonderful defending from City. What happened over there? No, surely he wasn't offside. He came from behind a City player and it's a corner to defend right now. And it's half time. Good performance by our players, I would say, especially Cole Palmer, Sergio Gomez, both have been ruthless on that left wing, actually. Both have been absolutely ruthless on that left wing. And then Calvin Phillips was very good with his ball over the top, which Foden failed to convert. The sequence of play for Julian Alvarez scoring the goal was also very, very good. So, overall, I would say Pep will be happy with this performance. What he will not be happy is players giving the ball away easily, especially from that period of 30-35 minutes. Players just becoming a little bit more casual and stuff like that. I know we have won the title and we're in a bit of a celebratory mood, but these players must be playing to show Pep that I deserve a team in the first team, sort of those kind of vibes. So I don't know why they are a bit complacent, especially towards the end of that half. But sequence of play from Phillips, Palmer, Julian Alvarez was just so amazing. It's just so good. I'll come just now in a minute or so. Bayaji says Mahrez sloppy. It was just not happening for him, Bayaji, today. It was just not happening, I would say. Because he tried to control the balls, one or two balls, but balls just got stuck under his feet and stuff. So I think we can excuse Mahrez for today. It's just one of those days where it was just not happening for him. Because he's been excellent in the run in, I would say, especially against Everton, for example. He was very, very good. Put that cross in for Gundo's first goal. He was just superb. He was just superb overall in the run in. 10 assists in the Premier League. He's just behind KDB this season. But I think the talking point is about Cole Palmer and what has happened on that left hand side of City. I'm just stunned actually. I'm not stunned, but I'm just feeling super good about what we have done on that left hand side. That one touch passing and stuff. And what did you guys think about Calvin Phillips? The finish from Julian Alvarez was just excellent. It's just superb. It's the finish of a top quality striker. And the way he peeled away from the centre back is also very good. The centre back was expecting a run inside. Alvarez went on the outside. Look at the movement of Alvarez, and then you look at the centre back turning his head to see where Alvarez is. The movement, that is world class movement. The power in the shot, everything is just superb. But for me, our left hand side, Sergio Gomez, Cole Palmer, Callan Phillips to an extent, very good. Aymeric Laporte playing the balls out, very good, I would say. I think, Cole Palmer and Sergio Gomez, it will be very fascinating to see where they will go next because that is, that is the position of Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish and Phil Foden will compete for that left hand side position. So Palmer is out of it. Mahrez on the right hand side. If you possibly go out and buy a winger in the summer transfer window, then I think you close the door to Cole Palmer, right? Okay, you might say Mahrez will retire in 2 more years, something like that. But potentially a young winger, you pay 60 million coming in front of Cole Palmer. Just the message that sends to Cole Palmer because I feel Cole Palmer is a confidence kind of a guy. Look at how Palmer was, very afraid to take someone on at the start of the season. I was shocked to see Palmer so bad in the preseason games. He was afraid to take someone on. Whereas last season, FA Cup games, he would just score the goal against Swindon Town where he just curled the ball in. He would take players on for fun and all of that. I was shocked that he was afraid that he would lose the ball in preseason and the same form continued throughout this season. So Cole Palmer is a confidence guy, and my question is, what confidence will it provide Palmer actually? Uh, if you go out and sign a PC right winger or someone like that, it would just signal that he's falling down the picking order. Gautam says, I hope we go for Mitoma. Will be very difficult, Gautam, going for Mitoma because first thing is Brighton will sell McAllister and Casido for a lot of money on an average 60-70 million for each, 140 million. So I think they do not want to sell. They do not need to sell Mitoma actually. They'll be asking 80, 90. See, we paid 100 for Jack Grealish. They'll be expecting 80 to 100 for Mitoma as well because Mitoma has had a similar impact on Brighton like Jack had on Aston Villa. Jack almost single-handedly kept Aston Villa up. Karao Mitoma, he has almost, I won't say on his own, but almost had a huge part in today Brighton secured European spaces. So I think Mitoma played a huge role. So looking at what we paid for Jack, the last 80, 90, even 100 for Karo Mitoma, I won't be surprised. And Jack was 100 2 years ago, right? 2.5 years ago. So just imagine what the price of Mitoma will be. But I have to agree with you, Ekathan, that Mitoma is a winger who suits the Pep system perfectly, right? He has that pausa and is a great turn of pace as well. The pausa, he understands how to control the tempo of the game. He has come from that sort of deservy sort of a system, and he understands the kind of football which Pep Guardiola wants to play. So Mitoma would be a dream signing, but But I actually think we are far away from those days when I think probably if we are in 2013, 2014, even probably at the starting, the first season of Pep, where we would go for the star signings. But right now, I think the star signings in the Premier League, the flavor of the season in the Premier League. But right now, we are in a position where we look at players and think, how is this player gonna give something different to me? With Mitoma, does he actually offer something different? Because Mitoma will be competing with Jack Grealish for that left hand. I don't know if he can play on the right, but he will surely be competing with Jack Grealish, right, for that left hand side spot. Possibly Phil Foden for that left hand side spot. And Grealish and Mitoma, I kind of okay. Mitoma dribbles well, for example, bit more pace than Grealish, but I see many similarities in both players actually. So are we actually getting something new? With Jack Grealish, we got something new. Someone who could hold the ball, dribble past players a bit, keep keep and hold the ball in the midfield. What Grealish did at Real Madrid, for example, something different, relieve the pressure and all. So I don't think Mitoma is going to offer us something different than what we have got. And honestly, I think if Cole Palmer is on the money, I think Cole Palmer can be the next Mitoma actually in terms of Palm not a similar kind of a player, but Palmer has everything. His Palmer's dribbling is just so underrated. If Palmer attempts five dribbles in at least three to four of them, he goes past his man. He goes past his man in at least three of them, and that is a very high win rate actually. So Palmer is there, Carlos Borges is there, Embuda is there in the academy. So I would actually be disappointed in a way if he went and got Mitama because we just don't need to spend that, and it would my disappointment is not that we spend 80, 90 or 100 on Mitama. My disappointment is that we are blocking the path of potentially a Cole Palmer, potentially an Embuda, potentially a Carlos Borges. If you are bringing a Mitama in there, their path is completely blocked off. So I don't think going for Mitama is a good idea in multiple facets, and money is not one of them. Gautam says, I think in Pep system, a player should be good at multiple positions. That is true, Gautam. That is true. That is why I say this iteration of City is by far, I think, this iteration of Pep, the City iteration of Pep is almost, it's better than that 0809 Barcelona team, I think. Just in terms of, I know we have not won the trophies they have won and stuff like that this season, but just in terms of, the physicality, just in terms of the angles which this team covers, physicality wise, we are there, which I don't think you can say the same about Pep's past teams, right? From the Barcelona team to the team of last season. Physicality, this team has physicality which is non existent in other Pep's teams. This team has players who can play in multiple positions, a fluid team which other Pep's Man City teams didn't quite have. Centurions team, Sterling, Sane, Aguero kind of fixed. The false nine team probably didn't have a striker or didn't have a centre back who could come into the midfield and didn't have such versatile fullbacks or something like that. Walker wasn't the player that uh, he was 2 3 years ago. He's become more flexible and stuff. So I think Pep, this is a team of fluidic players plus Erling Haaland. That's what I would say. You could bloody play Jack Grealish or Bernardo in the left back position as well, and nothing will change. And the next season is going to be scary for opponents because Erling Haaland will learn to be fluidic as well. He has to learn how to be fluidic. There's no other way that Haaland can uh, succeed here. The day he stops learning, Pep will not care whether you get 60 goals a season, whether you're on so high wages, who are you, whether you're the best striker in the world, whether you've got Ballon d'Or or not, you'll be out. So I think Erling Haaland, he has evolved as well. If you look at what Erling Haaland has done against Arsenal, for example, at the Etihad against Real Madrid, he was very good. I mean, Haaland's build-up play has actually improved a lot, especially after February, after March. So I think that is where Haaland will continue to improve. It's just fluidic, like you said, Gautam. You're true. It's just fluidic. That's why Joshua Kimmich for me is going to be very. It's going to be a very interesting signing. They're telling Josko Guardiol, but I would prefer a Joshua Kimmich, for example, instead of Josko Guardiol, because Kimmich has that physicality as well, if I'm not wrong. He has that physicality as well. But again, Josko Guardiola, I don't know which foot is Joshua Kimmich, because Josko Guardiola, left-footed centre back, is very good in 1v1 situations. Put 23 years old. They say he's a leader, captaincy material. The pairing of Ruben Diaz and Josko Guardiola would just be even in a back three, Josko Guardiola, Ruben Diaz, and maybe a Kyle Walker with Stones going into the midfield. What what a defensive quadrant that trio that would be. Or just imagine Josko Guardiola, Nathan Ake, Ruben Diaz with John Stones dropping into the midfield. What a back three that would be. So interesting links we have in the transfer window, but nothing is confirmed yet. Kimmich and Josko Guardiola are two names that are actually coming back. Gautam says, want to see Kaiki back with the first team. He will improve more with us rather than playing in those Brazilian leagues. That is true. That is true, Gautam. When Kaiki made his FA Cup debut, I think 2 years ago or something, against Swindon Town or something, I don't remember. I mean, there was this thing that he's the left-footed Neymar. That was the expectations of Kaiki at City through the City's academy. They thought that he had the potential talent of a Neymar, actually, his dribbling skills and all. And Kaiki again, I thought had that ability to control the tempo of the game. It's just that he could not be given chances in the academy. That's the only thing. I think the fact will be harsh. The fact will be a bit harsh, but I think we need to, as fans, we need to take it up on the shin that not all talented players in the city's academy will be able to get through to the first team. And it's not because of a lack of talent, it's just because of a lack of opportunity. Because even the opportunity should be there, right? Right place, right time is a cliche which is talked about in football, and it is true. Just imagine if Foden was coming through right now and not when David Silva left. So potentially when David Silva left, we would have bought in a David Silva replacement who was 24, 25 years old. Right now he would be 28, 29. And Foden, he would be in his prime, and Foden would not have the chance to come through. Foden was a very talented player, but when he was coming through, you have also have to look at the situation there. Pep Guardiola was looking potentially at a David Silva replacement, things like that. But Pep Guardiola was trying to refresh his midfield and his wings. Leroy Sané left. David Silva was retiring back then. So I think the opportunity also needs to be there, and there will be youth players who will actually go with, because not because of their lack of talent but because of the lack of opportunity, and I think we need to accept that as fans. Rico Lewis is just another example. Just imagine if City were just smashing all of the teams and Kyle Walker, Joao Cancelo were just playing superbly and they're doing the job Pep asked for them and everything. Do you think Rico Lewis would have made the breakthrough into this first team? Do you think Rico Lewis would have got the chances in a critical juncture of the title race when in sort of the January thing when we were losing to Spurs, Stamford Bridge, that Chelsea game, I still remember Joao Cancelo, right? Started on the right wing, nil-nil at half time. I thought the title race could just be over that day because that we could not beat that Chelsea team, and Rico Lewis comes and he changes everything. So I won't say it's luck, but I will say it's a bit of having that opportunity there. It's a bit of destiny, I would say. Gautam says, "What do you think? Will Pep stay if he won the treble?" I actually think Gautam Pep is more driven by the processes which is creating here. Pep is more driven by the iterations of the teams is creating. What Pep wants to. Pep has this obsession of creating a team that can dominate in every situation, every scenario. Defensively, we need to be good. Offensively, we need to be good. Pep Guardiola almost is looking to create a team that is just perfect in all of the aspects, and he will not stop until such a team is created. It's a counter attack for Chelsea. City have got people back. Callan, where are you? Back tackle from Callan Phillips. That's wonderfully defended backhand. So, like I was telling, Pep's obsession is he loves to win the trophies, but more than the trophies, his obsession is with creating some a new iteration in foot and in the way his team plays football every 2 seasons. Just look at the stark comparisons between 2000, the Centurions team in 17-18, the team in 18-19, the team now. I would say even the team in 2021 and the team now. We went from playing with Aguero, a striker and two wingers, to a team with false nine, to a team with two false nines, and again return to a team with a physical striker and change in system. You compare this to what Jurgen Klopp has done at Liverpool. Has the system changed? Compare this to what Conte has done wherever he has gone. Has the system changed? Right from 2016 to right now. Conte, Chelsea, Inter Milan, Spurs, same system, back three. There are I don't think there's another manager in the world who loves experimenting with a squad that is winning trophies with such domination year on year. So that is what drives Pep. So I don't think winning the treble or not winning the treble or whatever it is will drive Pep. The thing which drives Pep is far, far beyond that. And I think in a way that is also a reason why we are competing so much even after winning two titles, going for the third one, five titles in 6 seasons. Where do you get the hunger? The hunger is because the way Pep infuses new ideas in the team. That is where the hunger is coming from. The way Pep refreshes. Stefan Ortega has a clean take over there. So I don't think treble is an obsession for Pep. And if Pep goes after winning the treble, where will Pep go? Mourinho left Inter Milan because he had Real Madrid to go to. If you just look at Mourinho, Mourinho left because Mourinho is someone who's closest to, I think, who has done these things, a lot of trophies close to Pep, right? Mourinho left uh, Porto to go to Chelsea. He left Chelsea. He left Chelsea to go to Inter. Then he left Inter to go to Real Madrid. He was sacked from Chelsea. So when you look at Mourinho and why he went, he had better opportunities. He had the chance to go one step higher. But where does Pep go from here? Do you see a club better than City in the world of football right now? I don't think so. And he has the perfect ecosystem there. Do you see a club which does not have politics in the transfer? This thing here, the Stixi Bakaristan, Ferran Soriano, Pep knows the chairman inside out, Pep knows the owner inside out. It's almost like Pep every day when he walks into the training ground, when he walks into the City Etihad complex. I think Pep feels as if he's walking into the living room of his apartment. That's how comfortable Pep feels, I think. This level of comfort Pep can have nowhere. And another thing why it is difficult for me to see Pep leaving is that there is no other club where, okay, rival fans and people will judge, the media will judge, but internally I don't see any other club which will not judge a Pep Guardiola even if Pep goes a season without winning anything. City, you will not be judged on judged in City based on all of that. So multiple reasons for Pep to stay here, more than I can see him to leave. The only argument actually could be again that he has won it all. If he wins a potential triple, why would he stay? Because he's creating something that is so perfect. He's creating an animal which cannot be tamed. He's creating a monster which doesn't surrender even to the sorcery and magic of the voodoo of Real Madrid in the Champions League. This thing is created a monster like that. He's creating a monster that is stunning everybody. Gautam says Pep can move to Spain national team. The stress level will be much less. I think it was in Pep's biography or something. There was a assistant coach who worked very closely with Pep. You know what he said? What he said in Pep's book, in Pep's biography. He said that if you speak to Pep Guardiola, if you have dinner with Pep Guardiola, for example, and you speak to him after 10 minutes, if you're not speaking about football, the 11th minute he will just be lost in the thoughts of football. He will not be conversing with you. He'll be lost in his own world. So that is how much Pep Guardiola, he loves taking the stress. He loves being indulged in this game. Not just Pep, the top level managers are like that. Famously, Antonio Conte's wife said that Antonio Conte sometimes he wakes up in the middle of the night and he switches on the lights in the room and he starts scribbling something on his tactical pad. I think it is this madness of these managers, Pep Guardiola, and also what might seem like stress for us is a stress buster for them. That's the thing. I know it might sound like a cliche, but I think not able to manage a team, taking less stress, not able to be in a compete in a title race, having it easy to win the title. I think that is stress for Pep, because then Pep is like, I what else do I have to do? I can't change much and stuff. I do not have much to think about and stuff. I think having no stress is the most stressful thing for Pep Guardiola. Stress is a stress buster for Pep Guardiola, I think. And for me, I think you can see it in the way the team plays. The teams are always a reflection of manager's personality. So the way City plays is a reflection of, people say City are a machine, no emotion, especially when they go into this title race and stuff. Sterling takes the ball, I think. Sterling gets onto the ball. Look at that shit play by Sterling. So it's the personality of Pep that is in City. That is why we are so ruthless in these title races. To be fair, wonderful ball by Rico Lewis. It's just that Mahrez is not alert to it. Mahrez is just lost somewhere today. He's not having a good game at all. Vinay says Pep's system is difficult to understand. That's why Calvin Phillips is scratching his head even now. I mean, if you think about it, Vinay, Jack Grealish is one of the most technically gifted players in the Premier League, right? Even before he came to City, the way he holds the ball, the way he, glides to the midfield, technically his technique is superb, Jack Grealish. He took almost close to 2 years. Riyad Mahrez, for me, his first touch is the best in the world, not just the Premier League. The way he takes that first touch, dribbles past people, his understanding of space is next to none. And Riyad Mahrez took 1 year, 1.5 year to settle into the City team. So you can understand the levels at which Pep Guardiola is building his team around. When I just think about national level, then I think the national level winner will be Pep's last swan song. When Pep Guardiola wants to retire, he will go there. I think Pep Guardiola has at least 10 more years left in him at the top of management. Just imagine where would we be if Pep will be with us for 10 years and then he leaves. Then he goes to Spain or somewhere to manage. Because again, when do you think Pep Guardiola is a kind of a person who, I mean, you look at the intensity of Pep Guardiola. I mean, I don't feel Pep Guardiola is a kind of a person where, he can wait from international break to international break. His content just with playing friendlies and all of that. That gap would just drive him crazy. Second goal, hit the post, hits the upright. I think Rico Lewis retrieves it. So national team will be like almost boredom, I think, for Pep Guardiola. And most of the national matches are crap, right? You bloody have Spain playing Malta or England playing some Madagascar or something. Apart from Euros and the World Cup, which come every once in a while, right? Every 4 5 years. Apart from that, the rest of the things are just crap, right? Stefan Ortega with another good save. So I would actually expect Pep Guardiola to manage teams at club level for at least 10 years or something. Wonderful defending that is. Excellent defending that is from Aymeric Laporte. Raheem Sterling has been so wasteful today. I think Raheem Sterling as well deserves a guard of honor today for what a skill by Calvin Phillips. Look at that, Calvin Phillips, wonderful. I think Raheem Sterling deserves a guard of honor today for all of his shit finishing. Wonderful, Raheem. Cole Palmer, look at Cole Palmer driving through. Look at Cole Palmer driving through. Ah, slips at the last moment. Cole, what a run that is. I think the first part of Pep's project in terms of domestic domination is done 5 league titles in 6 years. I think the plan of Pep and the plan of the club is to have a similar level of domination of Real Madrid. I mean, so domination like Real Madrid in Europe, especially. If you look at this decade 2012 to 2020, 11, 12, 2020, 2022, I think that 10 years from 2012 to 2022, how many league titles we have had? 7 league titles, 5 plus 2. Pellegrini won and Mancini won, so 7 league titles. I think the next 10 years, Pep wants to achieve the same domination in Champions League as well. That is the aim. Just imagine so many Champions League trophies. Where will Liverpool go then? That is the aim. That is the aim of domination. Gautam says 10 years, 7 leagues, 5 Carabao, 5 FA Cups, 5 UCL titles. That would just be insane. That would just be insane. Gautam, 5 UCL titles. All of our rival fans will go crazy. But I think if you look at that Real Madrid performance, I think why not? You just come and ask why not. Because there are performances that actually signal that you have arrived on the stage. In terms of Premier League dominance, that kind of a signal was defeating Manchester United 6-3, sorry 6-1. That why always me moment with Mario Balotelli. In the same season, we defeated Arsenal 6-3 as well. I think those two moments just stand out for me in terms of announcing we have arrived. And for me, I think in the Champions League, I did not, before that Real Madrid game, the Bayern Munich game, especially the Real Madrid game, you did not see such a statement win, right? Okay, we went to a final, we went to a semi final as well, but you did not see those statement wins, right? Because that statement wins give the squad, the fans, everyone confidence that this is what this team can do. Now, when you talk of Liverpool, for example, even if they're 3 goals down, you just imagine they overcame Barcelona from 3 goals down. Just don't write Liverpool off. Now, from now on, when people discuss City on a European stage, they will say that, wow, did you guys notice that night at the Etihad where Real Madrid made 15 passes in the first 20 minutes? Where Real Madrid almost thought City had more players on the pitch from them? Where Real Madrid could not touch the ball for 20-25 minutes? Where Real Madrid had zero shots on target for the first half an hour or 40 minutes? That is the kind of status we have got in Europe right now after that Real Madrid game. Anything might happen in the UCL final, but we have arrived on the UCL stage. That's what I would say. I had not said this after the PSG semi-final win where we set up a final against Chelsea. It didn't feel like that. Didn't feel like we had arrived. Okay, we went to a final or something like that. But surely here we have arrived on the European stage. Calvin Phillips, I think, with the header over there. Yes, Calvin Phillips with the header. What a goal that would have been. I hit the upright, but I think Phillips has had an all-right game. I think one pass he has missed it. Apart from that, he's had a superb game. Stefan Ortega passing out from the back. And what will happen with Stefan Ortega in Ederson situation is also interesting for me. I don't see Ederson I mean, I don't see Stefan Ortega being happy with sitting on the bench next season and just playing the FA Cup and Carabao Cup. I think with his performances, Stefan Ortega has demanded that Pep give him that Champions League goalkeeping spot. Stefan Ortega had against Chelsea, if you remember, I think FA Cup, Stefan Ortega had made so many saves. I think it was in the Carabao Cup, I think. Stefan Ortega made so many saves back then and he had kept us in the tie individually. The guy has conceded zero goals in the FA Cup till now. It's a record in the competition. So if Ortega is not given the Champions League spots, I don't think Champions League goalkeeping spot. I don't think he stays. So that will again be an interesting thing of what Pep does with Ortega. Because Ortega is not a dud with his feet or something. He's very good with his feet as well. Raheem Sterling, Raheem Sterling, Raheem Sterling. It's offside. And what a goal line clearance there from John Stones. I think City players have decided whatever might happen today, that was actually not offside, but City players have decided whatever might happen today, we will not let Raheem Sterling score. Wonderful goal line clearance from John Stones. It's not crossed the line. Stones and Raheem Sterling having a moment there. Calvin Phillips. Wonderful interception there from Calvin Phillips again. John Stones now playing in the center of that defense. Laporte on the left. Sergio Gomez has been excellent again. So, key things here, especially the midfield. I'm fascinated with the midfield. So many players arriving, and everyone looks so comfortable on the ball as well. Jan Kuto is someone who's gonna come back next season as well. So how do we groom Jan Kuto? They say the curl on his crossing is just next to Trent Alexander-Arnold. That's how they say about Jan Kuto. And his 1v1 defending is very good. And Jan Kuto's strength is balls between the lines. And what does Pep love? Balls between the lines. What a ball from Calvin Phillips that is again. It's offside, I know, but Calvin Phillips. That's why he's called the Yorkshire Perlo. Gautam says even though we won the title, it's quite difficult to City not scoring more than 3 goals at the Etihad. We are just having mercy on Chelsea, Gautam. We are just having mercy on Chelsea. And even with that, Calvin Phillips hit the post. We should have at least had two, if not three. One of Cole Palmer's shot was blocked. We should have had three here. It's just that we are not clinical enough in finishing. That's it. Well done by Calvin Phillips. And an interesting thing I've noticed is when Arsenal fans tell you about 81 points, that they've got 81 points this season and they've competed against City and all of those things, great season they've had toe to toe with City. In the last 6 years, we have won five titles, right? The 1 year when we lost the title to Liverpool, I think it was after 18-19. We had a lot of injuries. Laporte was injured and we lost the title. That season when we lost the title 1920 to Liverpool, that's an easy goal. But the whistle had gone. I think the whistle had gone. Anyway, the whistle had gone. That season 1920, we had 81 points and we lost the title. And that season, all of us were disappointed actually. all of us were very disappointed that City had a shit season. So our most disappointing season in the last 6 years is Arsenal's best season in the last is one of Arsenal's best season in their history. Even the Invincibles got 77 points. So our most shit season is one of Arsenal's top two seasons in their history. So you can see the levels in which City are at. 81 points, the failure for City that season, those seasons, and 81 points. Arsenal fans are over the moon. They are telling me we've competed this that. I mean, 94 points. Forget about 81 points, guys. 94 points is like a mid-range for Pep Guardiola's teams. If you look at the points with which we won the titles, don't concede. Don't concede to bloody Chelsea. Yes, if you have seen the points totals which Pep Guardiola has achieved in his last 5 6 years at City, 94 is almost in that median range, in that middle range. Always we have been, especially in the last 2 3 seasons, we've always been north of those 95 points. Centurions 100 last season about 97 points. Before that, I think we have secured about 96 97 points. So even 94, which we can secure this season if we win our remaining games, is still seen as not an extraordinary season for Pep Guardiola. These are the standards Arsenal should realize they're fighting against. So I think when Arsenal fans think that Liverpool had ran City close the first time 18 19, they won the title. The next season they won it because we dropped off. We had injuries, and it was COVID hit season. There were a lot of things, subplots going on there. No team under Pep Guardiola, right from 17 18, when Pep Guardiola got everything ready after his first year, no team has ever gone toe to toe with us when we are like fully there and they are also there full tilt till the end, and they have won over us in the league title. That is the scary part for Arsenal. So if Arsenal have to win the league title, they just have to hope that we suffer a horrific season in terms of injuries and all. If they want to go toe to toe with Mikel Arteta knows if Arsenal want to go toe to toe with us, they will suffer the same fate as what happened. That's a wonderful turn of pace. That's a goal. Is he offside? No, it's not offside. The goal is given. The goal is given. I think they'll have a check, but the goal is given. Gautam, I think they'll score three. We'll score three. And look who is coming. Look who is getting dressed up. The Viking. The Norwegian Viking. The Norwegian, you asked for it and not just the goal, but the Norwegian Viking is getting up and is coming. The Norwegian Viking is hungry for goals. Hasn't had anything against Real Madrid. Both the legs. Won't be surprised if the Norwegian Viking scores a hat trick. Are they checking a handball or something? I don't know. But Julian Alvarez with two goals. Are they offside? He's on. Mahrez is on. I think he's at least level. His What is it? Michael Oliver has been asked to go to the pitch side monitor to check it. Damn it! I think they'll not give it. He's given a handball. He's given a handball. That was the sort of day for Riyad Mahrez, right? Nothing was quite going for him. But just look at that change which City are about to make. The Norwegian Viking. This is one of the combinations I've liked to see from a long time. That Calvin Phillips and Erling Haaland. Calvin Phillips putting those balls over the top and Erling Haaland running, especially with the space that Chelsea is giving us. And Erling Haaland is chasing that Dixie Dean record of I think 60 goals all competitions, and he's on 52 I think. Potentially with this match, yes, this is one, three, I think he has four, five matches to achieve 8 goals. Not outside the realms of possibility for Erling Haaland. He's chasing the Dixie Dean's record. And it's stunning when you see Erling Haaland had gone through a goal drought in sort of that January period when City were also not playing well. I think in the January period, there was a period when he had 1 goal in 6 matches. And still he ends up with 52 goals or what in the season, 36 goals in the Premier League. And Erling Haaland. Ah, what an assist, what an impact that would have been by Erling Haaland there. Rico Lewis would have almost scored the goal. Just deserved the goal over there, Rico Lewis. Chelsea are on the counter attack right now. I think it's Maduwiki who is going on with so much pace. Just don't draw the game. Let us just finish the last home game with a win. The raw pace of Mudrik, the dribbling ability of Mudrik, everything is visible here. But City easily could have been 4-0 up and stuff. Good ball from Stefan Ortega. When I see these VAR checks and the referee going to the pitch side monitor, and I mean, most of the times when the referee goes to the pitch side monitor, it's almost evident that he'll change the decision, right? Because he goes only when the assistant referee in the VAR room, the referee in the VAR room thinks that's a foul in favor of City, thinks that there is clear and obvious evidence against City. I mean, against the decision given by the referee. So I don't know why he's bringing on Rodri and Bana and Kevin De Bruyne. But just looking back, going back to that Spurs game, if you guys remember, Champions League, 18-19 season, I think the Spurs game, Champions League, where we went out on VAR decision and the last second at the Etihad. There was a handball which was scored from Spurs right header. I don't remember. I think it was Lorente was the Spurs striker back then. The referee went to the pitch side monitor. He looked at the visuals for 5 minutes and then he ruled in favor of his original decision. Since then, I have not seen that happen ever after again. Whenever the referee goes to the pitch side monitor, he always overturns the decision. Almost always. Don't know why it has to only happen to City. And I was sure that season, if we reached the final, we would have, if beaten Spurs, we would have reached the final that season as well. Almost a wonderful piece of play, but ah, almost a curler from Julian Alvarez actually from long range, I think. Gautam says Pep took me seriously, I guess, bringing Haaland, De Bruyne, and Rodri. I don't understand why he's bringing Rodri here. Maybe he'll give Rodri time off in that Brighton game, or maybe Rodri recovers so well. Bloody Rodri has played every match this season for us. But again, I think this can also be a master stroke from Pep Guardiola. The last thing you'd want is rest all these players for the next match and the match after, and suddenly ask them to come and play an FA Cup final against Manchester United. When Manchester United players have been almost fighting for top four, they have that momentum and stuff going, right? So I think Pep does not want that to happen. Pep does not want the momentum to fizzle out. And he's seen a lot of it in Bayern Munich, for example. They used to win the title in January, February, and by the time the Champions League crunch stages came through in April, the momentum's gone. Even the hunger was gone. Those teams. So I think this season. Pep is using all of his experience in terms of managing a team. It is a master stroke from Pep. Madueke, Mudrik, good defending from City. Do not allow them to score a goal. That's wonderful defending. Erling Haaland on the counter attack. Ah, that's a foul. No, the ref has not given a foul. Well done by Stefan Ortega. But I don't know why Haaland didn't pass it back a bit. Erling Haaland, Calvin Phillips, Rico Lewis. Rodri coming in and is getting the ball out now. I actually think Calvin Phillips is in there and Rodri is playing as a centre back actually. Interesting. Interesting tactics from Pep. Press Kepa, press Kepa. Of course, no City are not pressing on full tilt because there's no need also, right? Ha, Rico Lewis. Rico, use your pace. The change of pace there was good from Rico Lewis actually. He almost got there in time, he almost covered it in time. Substitutions for Chelsea. I think David Tetro Fofana is coming on if I'm not wrong. Loftus Cheek is going off, and Lewis Hall are going off, and Seko Meka and Koulibaly are coming in. I don't understand why Lampard doesn't start this guy Cheko Meka because he's generally very very good. Well done by Stefan Ortega over there. He's been very good. He's been very good today. In terms of his starting position, the one thing that impressed me, see, shot stopping was always there with Stefan Ortega. Is a better shot stopper than Stefan Ortega. Playing out from the back, no one can match Ederson, but he's in the top five goalkeepers in the world in terms of playing out from the back. Stefan Ortega. But the positioning of Stefan Ortega today has shown me that he's learning a lot because positioning in terms of when opponents put a not positioning for the goals, but when opponents put ball uh, behind your defense, do you start high? Where do you start? Even that's a skill, and that is where Ortega has really impressed me today. Edison has that high position, right? Against Madrid, Edison saved a sure goal just by coming from a high position. So Ortega had done that extremely well today. Great run by Kevin De Bruyne over there. Fantastic run, and it's a corner for City. It's Haaland actually with the run, not Kevin De Bruyne. For a moment, I thought it was KDB going through, but no. Kyle Walker there, what a week it has been for him. Not just proved all the doubters wrong, but now he's being regarded as the best right back in the world at the moment, in terms of the way he's dealt with Vinicius Jr. Koulibaly with a good bit of defending over there, but Pep would not be happy if this was a draw. He wants a win. He wants a win for sure. He wants a clean sheet. He does not want an unbeaten streak to end. That's the thing. I mean, the winning run to end, in fact, because if it's a draw, we'll still be unbeaten potentially. But he does not want the winning streak to end. But this will be the 12th consecutive game if he can finish the job. I think it will be the 24th unbeaten run. Kevin De Bruyne, it's a corner for City. The professionalism that City is showing here is very admirable. They could easily have been on the beach. I mean, anyway, the title is ours. Who cares? Nothing of that sort of attitude. We're going for it. Ah, Julian Alvarez just could not get over it. For all of the long shots is missing there, it's fine, it's allowed because of the one long shot that is hit at Fulham and that it allowed us to gain those points, right? That was so important. That was the most important long shot. So it's fine. Julian can take as many long shots as possible. Doesn't matter. That was such a pivotal long range shot in the contest of the title race, right? Against Fulham. Fulham away, Craven Cottage, a very tough game, and Julian Alvarez comes up with a thumping strike. You can sort of compare it to the Leicester City strike that Company had. Nowhere near in terms of the comparison of the strike. Company's was much harder, but just in terms of the context of the title race, either of those shots don't go in, I think it would have been difficult for us, especially the Company one. If Company's shot doesn't go in, I don't think we win the title that time. 18-19. What a lovely ball that is. Wonderful ball. Ah, it's gone out actually. The ball down the wing was wonderful, but the ball in from Kyle Walker was not good. Walker's not the best at crosses, but with this system, you don't need to be the best at crosses. You need to be the best. If you're defender, playing series back four with the system, you just need to be best at 1v1 defending. Yes, occasionally you move forward, but crossing need not be your focal point because there are other players who can offer that crossing aspect. That's a foul in favor of Chelsea. I mean, what a nice day to lift the trophy, right? Nice day in terms of the weather. The sun is just slowly setting over there at the Etihad. It's almost a lovely spring kind of a day. What a lovely day to lift the title in that Etihad sun. It's just wonderful. Chelsea are on the attack. I'll be very unhappy if Chelsea score. It's gone over the top. The fans would be much more relieved and relaxed that that they have not got to experience what happened last season. Aston Villa 2-0 down, 75th minute at the Etihad. One of the most iconic moments in the title race after Sergio Aguero in 11-12. So but anyway, it's not good to have those tense moments every season, right? It's good if you have them once, 3 seasons or something. City are just knocking the ball around now. He's added 3 minutes stoppage time, but I guarantee you that Michael Oliver, if he would blow the whistle right now, no one in the stadium would object, not even Chelsea players. In fact, if permission was given, Chelsea players would take the whistle from Michael Oliver and blow it themselves. It's a throw in for Chelsea. The scoreline might just look like 1-0, but with almost our secondary team, our B team, we could have easily scored a 3-0 or something. That's something commendable. Do not concede a goal, that's the only thing. Stefan Ortega catches it, that's well done. I think one more minute left, minute and 10 seconds. But I think that should be that. Gautam says it looked more like a pre-season match than Premier League. Chelsea have been playing pre-season matches, Gautam, for the last 2-3 months. So I think Chelsea are used to playing pre-season matches so much. Look, there's no incentive as well, right, for the Chelsea players to play. Okay, just leave the table. They can't get anywhere in the table. But the players know that Lampard will not be the manager next term. The players know that Lampard will, Mauricio Pochettino will come. He'll have a new system to Lampard. Who are his preferred players? There'll be a lot of changes there. So there's no use, in terms of impressing Frank Lampard or even learning his methods in training. Especially when you're an interim manager and there's nothing to play for, no title and nothing to play for. I wonder how do you get the squad to play, to implement your ideas and systems. I mean, it happened with us in 2015-16, right? Leicester won the title. I honestly thought we could have won the title that season, but ah, what a tackle that is! What a tackle that is! What a tackle that is from Phil Ford! And look at it. Look at the tackle he's done there. That is hunger. That is desire. And Erling Haaland again coming to the rescue of Phil Ford in there and is just shoving Aspilicueta away. That is the team spirit. Desire, hunger, team spirit, everything on exhibition there. That is why that one moment is enough to say why City are champions. Frank Lampard over there. I think Frank Lampard is an example of climbing too much too fast. It's almost about to be done. The final whistle. The final whistle is done, guys. Etihad is about to erupt right now. Etihad is just about to erupt for the Premier League title celebration. I think all of the fans are coming onto the pitch. There is a pitch invasion. There is a invasion, not to the effect of what happened at Aston Villa. Those emotions are different. It will never be the same, but this one is quite special as well. We chased down an Arsenal team which we had 50 points from the first 19 matches. We chased down an Arsenal team which was top of the table for 93% of the campaign. We chased down an Arsenal team when we were down in the dumps in January. We chased down an Arsenal team when no one gave us even a pinch of hope. We chased an Arsenal team down in January, February when everything was looking dark. That for me is what makes this title achievement so good, so memorable. It's just superb. This title will be etched in the hearts of City fans. Not probably because of the comeback we did like an Aston Villa one or the Aguero one, but because of the human qualities that we have shown to achieve this. All the qualities, like I've said before, perseverance, determination, playing for each other, being there for each other, dying for each other on the football field if need be. None of the players gave less than 110% this season in every match, right from that loss to Nottingham Forest. Vinay says pitch invasion, wonderful scenes, Vinay, right? Wonderful scenes that they had. Pitch invasion, just this title triumph means a lot to each of the fans, each of the players. I think more than any other title, yes, the Aguero title was there, the Gundo title was there, but just like I've discussed, because of different reasons, because of the from the hard times, we have risen and achieved this title. I think this title will just stay in the hearts of the fans. This title could be a very pivotal title in the history of the club as well. Not just because we might do the treble, we might not do the treble, not because this title might drive us to the treble or not, but just because the way in which we achieved it, fighting all odds, fought with ourselves, human qualities. That is the only thing wonderful. And the way in which we dominated in terms of achieving the title, the way in which we created fear in terms of achieving this title. We defeated Everton in the tunnel in that match, and because of that Everton defeat, Arsenal fell flat. So we literally made the opponent surrender to us. An opponent that was 93% of the time top of the table, we made that opponent surrender to us. And what great feeling there is than making your opponent surrender to you. That is the feeling of immense power, right? When your opponent kneels down in front of you and says, the pressure broke me, that's it, we can't compete with you. There's no greater feeling than that. CTID, City Till I Die. What a great day, what a great title. Fifth title in 6 seasons. I know that we had spoken about this yesterday, but today seeing the pitch invasion and stuff, just can't let that emotions not come out. Wonderful scenes at City. Just speaking a bit about the match before we wrap up. I think Cole Palmer was excellent. Calvin Phillips was very good for me. He showed why Pep paid 40 million for him. Calvin Phillips today showed why Pep wanted him in the squad, probably over a Romeo Lavia because of his passing ability. His passing was superb today. Through not just diagonals across, but as pass into release Hall and his Perlo-esque passes, I would say, his aerial through balls to release Hall and to release Alvarez. They were just superb, and his attacking positions were very good whenever he got a chance in the box. The way he took the shot was very good. So Julian Alvarez for me was just sorry. Calvin Phillips was fantastic. Cole Palmer didn't have any fear today. This is the Cole Palmer that came out of the academy roaring that I am your next Phil Foden. That is what was the impression when Cole Palmer came out of the academy. Today's performance showed why people at the academy rate him so highly. I have no doubt. I know it's just one match that was against an out of form Chelsea, but I have no doubt today that Cole Palmer could go on and replace Riyad Mahrez if he can play with this confidence. Because for me, Palmer always had the skill, the ability, the footballing IQ, the ability to control the tempo of the game, the pausa, everything. It's just that his confidence is sometimes it gets low. So I think Palmer could be a replacement for Mahrez, and Rico Lewis, as usual, was excellent today. So those were the 3 points I would say which we took away from this match. And I would like to see Perone as well given a chance along with Cole Palmer and everyone. Cole Palmer, Calvin Phillips, and Rico Lewis in the next match against Brighton, which will be midweek. That Brighton match will be interesting because it will probably be two best footballing sides in the country, if not the world, coming together and playing. It will be two high lines squeezing each other, each challenging the other to play through them to the press. It will be a chess match like no other. So that will just be wonderful. Enjoy the title, guys. Enjoy the weekend. What a great way, what a great week it has been, right? Real Madrid dominated, winning the Premier League title this week. Wonderful week for City. This could be just the starting of achieving a lot this season. This could just to drive us to the books of history. This could drive us to snatching that historic moment from Manchester United. So just fingers crossed that historic moment of treble from United. Who knows? But let us just take the moment in one trophy at a time. That's the only thing. See you all guys and take care. Enjoy the title.